Hey YouTube, I'm back this time with a big, huge, fun Bath & Body Works empties for the month of November 2020. The one thing I'll say before I get started is that it's really bright and sunny out today, and I closed my blinds as well as I could, but you might get a little bit of a glare from time to time, so sorry about it, but I want to get this filmed and done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with my hand soaps that I used up for this month. So the first one that I used up is an afternoon apple picking. I know this has come out for a couple years, but this is this year's packaging. Key notes are crisp apple, succulent pear, and cinnamon. I purchased these because they kind of remind me of Suncrisp Apple Harvest. Do I get a pear? I mean, like maybe, but it's really more like apple and a little bit of cinnamon at the end. I'm not a cinnamon person, so please don't think that this is especially spicy. It's really not, but you do get cinnamon at the end. So I purchased 2 more of these. You will find those in my empties probably in about December or January. And I'm glad that I have them, and I would repurchase, but I'm kind of done for the year. So again, would repurchase these, but not more this year. The next one that I used up was my favorite from the month. This is White Coconut Caramel, new for this year. The keynotes are coconut flakes, toasted hazelnut, and caramel swirl. I loved this. This was so good. And I love it because it reminds me of exotic coconut. Like, it's definitely not the same. This smells edible to me, whereas exotic coconut is really not edible, but it has that same kind of coconut. It's not like a tropical coconut that you would get, you know, in the springtime, like with Waikiki Beach coconut and, you know, scents like that. It's definitely more edible. It's a little bit dry, but it becomes more edible and more, I think kind of like decadent with the caramels. So if I find this at SAS, I may pick up a few. Otherwise, I really hope that it comes back next year. I really loved this one. The next one that I used up for November was Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte, one that I get every single year. Keynotes are creamy pumpkin, toasted marshmallow, and warm praline. Really enjoyed this. I don't love it enough to get it in like body care and candles and like all that kind of bit, but I do enjoy one soap every single fall. So while I'm done with it for this year, I will repurchase this next year. Okay, so those are my 3 hand soaps that I used up in November. Let's get into my fragrance mist. So the one full size that I used up is a Black Raspberry Vanilla, another fall staple for me. I've been using this every fall since college, and I really do love it. Black Raspberry Vanilla is definitely not for everyone. I think there's a very interesting like tartness to it that I think not everyone would get behind, but I really enjoy it. This to me does not smell edible. It's very body care, very kind of zingy and in your face. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm glad that Black Raspberry Vanilla is kind of making a comeback, at least a little bit at Bath & Body Works, because my husband loves it too, and to me it is nostalgic. So would repurchase. I'm good for this year, but ultimately I would repurchase. Now the next one I used up is a mini. I used up a mini in Champagne Apple and Honey. I think I've got one more maybe. But yeah, I just finished up another one of these. I don't have keynotes, but it really does smell like what it sounds like. There's an effervescence to it. There's a sweet apple. Do I get honey? I mean, maybe. But yeah, I really like it. It's not something I really want all the time, but I'm glad that I picked up a couple minis during summer SAS because it was enjoyable to use this up for the fall. The next one that I used up really surprised me. I tore through fragrance mists in November. I used up a Twisted Peppermint Mini from last year. So in my last Bath & Body Works empties, I talked about a pillow mist from aromatherapy, and ever since I started using that pillow mist, I've really desired to kind of spring my sheets because I think there's kind of like an indulgence or like a decadence to that. I don't know, it's kind of bougie and frivolous, but I kind of like that. I think it's nice. So actually I've been using Twisted Peppermint this month on my sheets, and I've really enjoyed it. So I think that I'll continue to use that. You might find an increase in general in fragrance misuse from me for that reason. But yeah, I really love Twisted Peppermint. I'm gonna be using this in a full size on my body in December, so be on the lookout for that in my December empties. Okay, so let's move on to shower gels. The first shower gel that I used up this month is a strawberry pound cake from the spring. Love this packaging. I think that Bath & Body Works did a really nice job with its kind of chalkboard packaging back in the spring. The keynotes are fresh strawberries, golden shortcake, and whipped cream. I think those keynotes are very fair. There's definitely like a heaviness to it, almost kind of buttery like a yellow cake. And oh, it is so good. Love strawberry pound cake. I know that some people don't like it, but I'm a fan of strawberry pound cake. I will definitely pick more of this up probably in the spring. I'm sure it'll be back, but I really am enjoying that this is really like vibing at Bath & Body Works this year. So excellent, would repurchase, and I have more of them. The next one that I used up is a black raspberry vanilla. Same thing that I said before, really enjoy it. My husband loves it. And the keynotes are fresh raspberries, vine ripened blackberries, vanilla orchid, creamy sandalwood, cashmere woods. So like I said, it's very tart, kind of zingy, definitely body care, not a raspberry I would eat, but we really enjoy it. So my husband loves it because he says it smells like black currant, which like I get. But yeah, I think it's great. I have more of these for sure. And I will definitely pick up more if I find some at, maybe not this SAS, but like next summer, if I find more, then I'll definitely pick up more. The next shower gel that I used up is a champagne apple and honey that I purchased a couple weeks ago. The keynotes are Pink Lady apple, sparkling champagne, jasmine honey, and autumn woods. It smells the exact same as the champagne apple and honey body splash that I used up, and I actually really enjoyed this in the shower. I'm glad that I decided to just kind of pick one up, even though I already had a couple different items in champagne apple and honey. I think that the heat or the humidity or whatever in the shower really brought out the notes, especially the apple note, and I really loved it. So next year I am going to be seeking out a couple shower gels and champagne apple and honey. So glad that I tried it, and I would definitely repurchase. The last shower gel, or the last full-size shower gel that I used up for the month is Golden Sunflower. So I kind of took a chance on this again a couple of weeks ago, but I'm in general a sunflower fan. So yeah, it was good. I think it honestly kind of smells a little like shampoo is kind of the vibe that I got from this. Definitely floral. I think that sunflower definitely is not everyone's vibe, because not only is it a floral, but I think it's kind of robust in its floral notes, I guess, if that makes sense. So it says sunflower petals, orange flower, fresh vanilla. I didn't get a vanilla out of this. I think I probably would have enjoyed if I did, or enjoyed it more if I did. But yeah, I think overall it was really nice. I'm not sure that I would seek it out during SAS. Once I was finished with this, I felt a little over it, but if this came out again next year, I would repurchase it. All right, let's move on to lotions. I technically finished up 2 in the month of November. One I finished up toward the beginning of the month, and one I finished up yesterday. So that's why, even though I go through lotions pretty slowly, you do see 2 of them this month. So the first one that I used up at the beginning of the month is my Midnight Pomegranate, my staple that I use every October. The keynotes are ruby red pomegranate, sparkling cassis, white jasmine, blackberry spice, and patchouli. And yeah, even though it's called Midnight Pomegranate, I love it, but I do wish it had more of a fruit note. This to me is more of like a musky patchouli kind of floral. So I do love it, but I do also wish it had a little bit more tartness with a more of a like a dominant pomegranate note. So like I said, even despite my wishes for Midnight Pomegranate, I still really love it. I use it every single fall, and you'll see this again from me next fall as well. The next one that I used up is like my precious, I think this is the last vintage item that I had in my stash. So back in maybe April, I did a vintage haul. I'll link that down below. It's a pretty fun haul, but one of my items that I hauled is this lotion in Sweet Cranberry Rose. This came out only one year. It came out in 2016. Honestly, I kind of slept on it a little bit in 2016 and really regret it. So I wind up going on to like eBay and Amazon and stuff like that to repurchase these. So keynotes are fresh cranberry, rose petals, sugared plum, pear blossom, and soft autumn musk. This to me is, oh, excuse me. This to me is more of a balance than Midnight Pomegranate when it comes to like fruit and floral. I definitely get a tart cranberry, but there's also something very floral about it too. I almost get a bit of like a peppery note from it that I think it makes it really good for fall. So yeah, really enjoy it. I wish that this would come back because I think that if it did, it would be quite popular, because I know that Sweet Cranberry Rose definitely has a bit of a cult following, and I'm a member of that cult. I really, really enjoy it. So I would repurchase, but unfortunately at this point I have to kind of drop some dough on eBay and Amazon. Okay, so that's it for my full-size items, at least for the most part. Those are full-size items. Now I'm gonna get into some mini kind of stuff. And actually, no, wait, I've got one more full size. So my last full size item that I used up is a sugar scrub. This is in Love, Rose and Vanilla, and this is the Shea Sugar Body Scrub. And I picked this up toward the very end of SAS, maybe in about August or so. I had never tried the aromatherapy scrubs before, and this was 75% off, so I just kind of went for it. I really love the Rose and Vanilla scent. I think it's a little bit different than Rose Water and Ivy. I don't know, maybe I'm just like making that up in my head, but I think that it is a little bit different. But I still really love it. And so yeah, I decided to pick it up. However, I am disappointed in this scrub. It was different than the sugar scrubs that Bath & Body Works has like in tubes, I guess, if that makes sense. The sugar in this was definitely more fine. It was almost like the type of sugar that you would put into like a cake or something like that, like kitchen sugar, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know. This sugar in this was much more finer than what you would get in other sugar scrubs from Bath & Body Works, but also is very slippery. It seemed like it doesn't say so on the ingredients, but I got kind of almost like an emollient or like a petroleum jelly vibe. Something about it was very thick and very greasy feeling. So I used this up for myself, but I also, my husband used this like once and said that he hated it because he just felt like he couldn't wash it off of him because it kind of left almost like a residue type of feeling. So I have one more of these and I'm going to use that up because I didn't hate it per se, but I didn't love it either. So unfortunately, I will not repurchase these aromatherapy sugar scrubs. Okay, now let's get into more mini stuff. So the first mini item I used up is this 24-hour moisture Ultra Shea body cream, a mini in whipped vanilla chiffon. I picked this up during summer SAS, and I think it's okay. The fragrance was very perfumey. It was definitely not edible at all, and I guess that's kind of what you get with the chiffon type of fragrance. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either, so I would not repurchase. So glad I tried it, but I would not repurchase it. Same thing goes for this mini shower gel that I used up in whipped vanilla chiffon. So again, it's okay, but not what I really wanted it to be. The next item I used up, going kind of quick here, is one pocket bag in Champagne Apple and Honey. It was a bit of a month for Champagne Apple and Honey. Really enjoyed this. I wouldn't hoard it, but I would repurchase it next year. And then finally, my very last item is something kind of random, but I wanted to throw it in here. So this is just, I guess, a little travel shampoos and conditioners. This is in the Stress Relief Eucalyptus Spearmint. I just happened to stay at two different, like a hotel and also a cabin this month where just coincidentally they both had these in them. And yeah, I just wanted to bring attention to it because I've said before on my channel that I really wish, just in general, that Bath & Body Works would bring back their shampoo and conditioner that they used to sell back in the 2000s. I feel like I always have good hair days after I use it, and I really wish they would not have discontinued it. So I love that I can find it in hotels and cabins and whatever, but I really wish in general that you could purchase them in stores. So that's all I'll say about that, but I wanted to again toss it in there just to make it known that I love these shampoos and conditioners from Bath & Body Works. So please, Bath & Body Works, bring it back, please. Okay, so that is it for my kind of big, this was 16 items, not including the shampoo and conditioner. 16 items in the month of November. I think that that is pretty good. I'm really excited about what December and January and February will be. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Yellow Brick Repat. I'll put it down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.